Good afternoon. You wouldn't want to get kicked out of your house and told that you can't live there anymore. You wouldn't want to leave and maybe go to work, and when you came back, somebody else had moved in, and now there was no room for you to be there anymore. You wouldn't want the bank to take over the house and say, you can't live here anymore, you're evicted. Those would not be great situations. They would indicate that there was a bigger problem, that something was wrong, something very bad was happening. You wouldn't want any of those things to take place. The people of Israel in the Old Testament, they lived in their nation. They lived in their land. It was given to them by God, but there came a time when God said, you can't live there anymore. That God was bringing in an outside nation, a nation that was going to take charge of them, was going to punish the Israelites and carry them off into captivity. And it was because of the sins of the people of Israel. That's why it was taking place. They were not going to be able to live in their homeland anymore. But God also wanted them to know that there were promises He was making, promises that they would come back. You can imagine if you were kicked out of your house, what it would be like to get that back, how satisfying it would feel, how joyous you would be, how wonderful it would be. The news would be great. This is what Jeremiah the prophet said, chapter 31, verse 17. There is hope for your future, declares the Lord. Your children will return to their own borders. God's people were going to come back. It was a promise the Lord was making. Good news, hope for the future. You live in a time where you have certain things that belong to you and you wouldn't want them taken away. But you know that it doesn't matter what happens today or tomorrow, that your life is going to come to an end, and that is going to mean that all of those things are going to be gone. And the only thing that's important is, where do you spend eternity? Where is your hope for your future? It's not going to be in the house that you live in. It's not going to be getting back to a favorite location, a place that you lived once before and you want to get back there. It's not any of those things. It's the promise that God makes, that your hope for the future is that you are His child and you get to come home. Home being the place where God is, that place called heaven. God says you get there through what Christ Jesus has done. He makes you His child, and that is what gives you hope for your future. Until we see each other again, the Lord's blessings on your day.